Hey y'all, it's Bonnie with the Get Down, and we are back with another video. If you are not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and share this video with anyone and everyone that you know. I hope everybody's having a great day. I hope you're having a safe day. Wherever you are listening to the podcast or watching the video, I hope you're having a safe day. 49ers fans, San Francisco fans, all of us, that includes me. News has been broken that we have fired Steve Wilks. So they end up firing him today. The news came out earlier today that he was being let go from the team. And to me, I think it's the right option. I think this is the right result. He's been with the team for a minute. I know he has, but you know, sometimes when your time is running out with a team because you're just not performing up to that ability how you should be performing. I mean, what's the next option that you have, besides keeping them? You have to end up, getting rid of them. And I know people were saying, when he got to the sideline, that kind of helped the team, the defense a little bit more better, because he could see everything a little bit closer and a little more clear. Instead of being up there in the skybox, seeing everything just from the view perspective and not really getting the tense and the emotions and the feelings that the players would have fed off on him and he could feed off of them and vice versa. So he is let go. I'm not really sad about this. I think we do need to move on from him. Like I say, every position that this specific person is being held in, sometimes they can live up to that position and then sometimes they can't. He's had his time with us, but it's ran out. It's obviously ran out and it showed. So let's read a little bit of this article. I don't know if a lot of y'all 49ers fans, me included, I don't know if a lot of y'all are sad. I don't know if y'all are happy. I don't know if you don't care about him really leaving or not, but this is a decision. He's not going to be there next year with us. So hopefully they can bring in somebody a little bit stronger that can push the defense where they need to go. And sometimes, you got to get rid of some of the players that are on the defense or on the offense. It's not always the coach that's doing it. Sometimes it's the players too. And then sometimes some players don't want to be there anymore. So it's a lot of different scenarios that can play into this factor. But I guess we'll see. Let's read a little bit of this article. It says Kyle Shanahan on Steve Wilks. It just ended up not being the right fit. Okay. 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan elected to fire defensive coordinator Steve Wilks on Tuesday after one season with the club. So he wasn't with us long. He wasn't with us too long. Okay. Shanahan detailed the reasoning for moving on from Wilks during a conference call with reporters on Wednesday, a day after saying in his season-ending press conference that he expected the coaches to be back. Sometimes you want the same coaches. You want everybody to return for next season. And sometimes it don't happen. Things are up in the air. You do have to move on sometimes. You do, to find a better result. And, that way you can find that push that you do need for the team. It says, I've been sleeping on this for a few nights and trying to come up with a few tough decisions. But this morning, I relieved Steve Wilks of his duties, Shanahan said via David Bonilla, 49erswebzone.com. A really tough decision because it really says nothing about Steve as a man or as a football coach. He's exactly what we wanted as a man. He's a great football coach. But just where we're going and where we're at with our team from a scheme standpoint and things like that, looking through it all throughout the year, through these last few days, I felt pretty strongly that this was a decision that was best for our organization. So obviously, Kyle, he wanted that to happen. He didn't really feel that it was probably best for him to stay. This is why he ended up getting rid of him. But I can understand. I understand it completely. You can't get too sad, can't get too frustrated. He was only with us for a year. And sometimes that small window is all that specific coach need. And if you can't advance or push forward from that window, then your job is in jeopardy. You won't be returning next season. Let's keep reading a little more. And even though it was one I didn't want to make, it was something that once I realized that I think a different direction is what's best for our organization, then it's something that I have to do. So let him know this morning. I guess they meant to say, so I let him know this morning. And I know I wasn't able to let you guys know yesterday because I wasn't sure about it yesterday, but I am now, and that's the case. And I wanted to let you guys know firsthand. Wilks replaced D'Amico Ryans, who departed the organization a year ago to become the Texans head coach. San Francisco went from being number 1 in points allowed and yards allowed in 2022 to number 3 in points allowed and number 8 in yards allowed in 2023. So, like I said, sometimes you can see the decline when certain coaches leave because it has to happen. But I mean, ultimately, if this is the best decision for the organization, if this is the best decision for the team, I mean, hey, it has to be done. It has to be done. Kyle had to make this decision. I mean, there's nothing furthermore to say about this. I do think he needs to go. We need somebody else there because he just, I don't know, the defense got to tighten up too. It's not just always what the coach is calling, and majority of the time it is, but the defense got to start locking up and being a little better. I mean, if we're going to have a better season next year, a lot of stuff has to change, and there's time to do it, okay? The football season is not going to start for the next, 6 months, 7 months, around August, September-ish. So there's time for changes. And it's not just the 49ers. This goes for every other team. The other 31 teams, it goes for them too. So this don't just have to go to the 49ers, but go ahead and try to make the changes. Go ahead and try to make the adjustments that need to be made for the team. That way, once the season starts, we can see, okay, boom, this is the hole that needed to be filled. This was the gap that was empty that somebody needed to step into. And once you have that, then, I mean, your team is untouchable. They're undefeatable. Won't nobody be able to touch them. So we are moving on from him so people can laugh. You know, a lot of people may laugh and have their own opinion about it, or he needs to get out of there, or it wasn't all his fault. Hey, I mean, at the end of the day, decision got to be made. And Kyle made that decision. He made that decision. I'm sure, you know, John Lynch, he felt the same way because he is the owner, and Jared York, he's the chairman. So I'm sure all of them came to an agreement with the conversations that they had, that they had to have in order to get rid of him. You know, when we had D'Amico there, I mean, he was great with the defense. I mean, unphenomenal. That's a new word. But I mean, you could see the difference when we did bring in Steve Wilks. Because he used to be with the Carolina Panthers, if I'm not mistaken. I think he used to be with the Carolina Panthers. So, you know, you do have to try to change and bring in and take somebody out, you know, for situations like that to happen in order to better it at the same time. So let's read a little bit more of this article. San Francisco turned to Wilks in part because he ran a 4-down lineman scheme, and that's what the 49ers have been running under previous coordinator Robert Saleh. We also had him too, and Ryans. But as Shanahan said on Wednesday, it just ended up not being the right fit. So it wasn't the right fit. Like I said, we have to move on, you know. Hopefully wherever else he goes or wherever else he chooses to be at with another team, hopefully that can be, you know, he can get right, but he's just not the right fit for our team. He ain't the right fit. You do have to move on, you know, so we'll see what's going to happen, who they probably going to get in to replace him, and, you know, kind of look at some candidates, see where their credentials line up, and if it's a good fit, you know, hey, you'll be on a team. But he couldn't perform to the level that he needed to as a defensive coordinator. So we got to say bye, Steve. We got to say bye, you know. In my opinion, like I said, I think it is time to move on from him. We don't need to be with him anymore. It is time to move on better and get somebody that can work and try to fit what needs to be fit and where they need to be fit. All these puzzles that are just scattered everywhere, try to put them back in place, because that is what we need, especially on the offense. I'm not saying, I mean, on the defense. I'm not saying the offense is good, because that needs work too. We might have to get some new people, who knows. But the defense, like they always say, defense wins championships. And the defense is going to be the one to really keep your offense back on the field a little bit more. So it just depends. But we are saying bye to Steve Wilks. So, you know, wherever you do with your future endeavors, hopefully it's good. Wherever you do end up, you know, hopefully that's the right fit for you. But we do got to move on to you. I mean, we got to move on from you. We only had one season with you. You tried your best, but unfortunately, this was a right decision that Kyle had to make. So we have to move on from you. So kudos to you and whatever else you are going to do this coming up season, coming up year, and things like that. So if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a fat thumbs up. And don't forget to share this video with anyone and everyone that you know. Leave a comment in the comment section what you think about this. More so my 49ers fan, but anybody can comment on this. Give me your feedback. Do you think he should stay at least one more year? Do he need to get out now? And who do y'all think needs to be brought in his position? Because that hole got to be filled now. So I know they're going to be interviewing some people to see who will probably be a good fit for them. So we shall see. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you can be notified every time that I drop a video on this channel. Okay, and if that is all, always remember to stay prayed up, stay blessed, and I will see you guys in the next video.